GTA 4 has been sitting in my mind cave for the last couple of years. I got my hands on it from a local thrift store, I popped it into my Xbox 360 and was appalled by the frame rate, but I still made it about halfway through. Then I dropped it and never played it again. Until a couple of weeks ago. This time, instead of running it on my Xbox 360 with its f***ing jet engine motor, I instead bought it for my PC. I played it for a good while, and honestly, I really enjoyed it, like a lot more than I ever thought I would. And honestly, what hit me the most about this experience was definitely how different it feels when compared to its predecessor, GTA 5. I've played through 5 and I had a really good time with it, but after playing through Red Dead 2, 5's story doesn't really do much for me anymore. It's loud, fun, chaotic, but it didn't ever really stick with me emotionally because of reasons I will get into later. So going into GTA 4, I wasn't expecting very much, but holy shit, I was surprised. Not by the story itself, because let's be honest, all of Rockstar's games have a pretty solid story, but by how much this game leans into that same philosophy of Red Dead Redemption 2. It doesn't really want you to play, it wants you to feel.
We did some bad things. Bad things happen to us. War is where the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other. I was very young and very angry. Maybe that is no excuse. Roman? Roman! Are you sleeping, you fat f***?
In GTA 5, almost every mission is packed with explosions, wild set pieces, and piss-your-pants action moments. In short, it's all about spectacle. But I find GTA 4 slows things down and puts much more focus on the emotional narrative. Sure, there's really funny comedy sprinkled moments through it and action set pieces as well, but I find there's a higher significance in the weight of your actions, especially with Nico's arc as a character. It's less about entertaining you with spectacle and action, and more telling a story that's much more thought-provoking and heavy, which is one of the reasons why I enjoyed this entry in the series so much, way more than I ever thought I would. Is that me saying GTA 5 or any of the other entries are bad? No, they each do their own thing and they do it well. But GTA 4 stands out to me because it isn't trying to be the loudest or the craziest. It's more grounded, more personal, and that shift in tone is honestly pretty underappreciated in my opinion. It's a rendition in which you feel every single step that you take through this depressing setting of Liberty City, a rendition that has the atmosphere covered in the most dreary lighting. GTA 4 doesn't really ask you to have fun per se, it asks you to understand. GTA 4 has always leaned heavier into realism than any other game in the franchise. From the start, it establishes a world that feels burdened visually, mechanically, and emotionally. The lighting is washed in an overall exhausted color palette that mirrors the grime of a city past its prime. Cops are everywhere, eager to arrest you the second you break into a car. Vehicles feel heavier, clunkier, and the city itself is tighter and more claustrophobic. At times, Liberty City feels like it's actively pushing back against you, kind of like how New York does in real life. When Rockstar transitioned into the 7th generation with Grand Theft Auto 4, it became pretty clear that they weren't really focused on chasing spectacle anymore. They were more in line aiming for realism, and in my opinion, I think they nailed that. In fact, I may even argue that they surpassed GTA 5 in that regard. Because here's the thing, Rockstar had two paths in front of them for how they wanted to tell the next GTA. One path leaning into a more grounded, emotionally driven story, more along the lines of GTA 4, the other leaning into a more lighthearted and action-based one. And with GTA 5, they without a doubt chose the second one. Don't get me wrong, GTA 5 has its moments. It can be emotional when it needs to be, but it never hit me the way GTA 4 did, not even close. What really sets GTA 4 apart for me though is the setting. Yeah, I can agree that GTA 5's Los Santos is gorgeous and packed with insane amounts of detail, but GTA 4's Liberty City just feels so much more honest in comparison. It's not just a backdrop that sets the stage for crimes to be committed, it's a living symbol of disappointment and disillusionment. But maybe that's the point, right? Like, it's the expectation of the American dream versus reality. Whether it's in New York or LA, these games really want to show you the gaps in between what you were expecting versus what you get. But GTA 4, I feel, fleshes it out a lot more. It lives and thrives in that disconnect. Where GTA 4 truly sets itself apart is in how it captures the feeling of living in a big, overwhelming city, not just in its looks or its sounds, but the feeling. I won't spoil any story beats here, but I'll say this. The way the environments reflect the tone of the missions, the desperation, the morale rot, the exhaustion, it's completely unmatched. GTA 4's Liberty City doesn't feel like it was made for you. It feels like it was already there long before you even arrived there, and it'll still be there even when you go. It's a lot like Red Dead Redemption 2 in the way it embodies that emotional coldness, that indifference, which is what makes it feel so real. You are not special here, you're not the protagonist of the city, you're just another body moving through it, trying to survive. And for me, that's the kind of weight that pushes boundaries even 16 years later. About Grand Theft Auto 4 is its subtlety in storytelling. Nico as a character is a silent yet haunted man, but the game rarely ever spells it out, instead relying on you to do it yourself. This may sound pretty ordinary in any game, but it's just like how in Red Dead 2, where your actions end up fueling that guilt, not only for you, but Nico as well. There are several moments in the game where you need to make a morale choice, and I think what I enjoyed most about that aspect was the fact there is no morale system. You don't get a mechanic to spell it out for you. Instead, it's only you and Nico witnessing that emotional impact. That doesn't only allow for you to feel more connected towards Nico, but that care ends up seeping into every other character and relationship, causing you to really give a shit about whatever it is he chooses to care about, which is really hard to pull off in any video game. But GTA 4, you guessed it, does it especially well. I mentioned briefly about Nico's internal conflicts and how that coincides with the actions you do as the player, but dude, that completely undersells just how amazingly written Nico is as a character. Nico is a clear anti-hero, just like any other character in a Rockstar game, but like any well-written character, you can't help but like him and root for whatever it is he chooses to do. He's done a lot of pretty bad things, and frankly, he's a piece of shit, but he's not an evil person, and he's not proud of what he does, and that's what makes him so compelling as the main protagonist, as well as also being the benefit of having only one protagonist to play as. Because you only play as Nico, the game never really puts you away from his character growth, meaning you feel his guilt, his actions, and contradictions. You can't run away from the things that you and Nico do together, giving way more weight and importance to the choices that you guys make. And that's just the brilliance of GTA 4. It was always way ahead of its time when it comes to emotional storytelling, as well as just overall writing. And I think it's not really talked about as much as it should be. In a series built on chaos, satire, and action, it felt pretty refreshing to play an entry that just felt honest. Now, I'm not saying GTA 4 doesn't have moments of action or spectacle, because there are, but I found myself more entranced by the emotional weight than I ever did in any GTA ever. It's a passionate and amazingly well-written story on regret, disillusionment, and surviving in a world that never really wanted you in the first place. And that might sound heavily dramatic, but that, for me, is what made this game feel so unforgettable. GTA 4 is a brilliant game, and from the way I've been talking about it and from what I've seen, it may not be the most popular take. And you know, I get that. I get if you don't agree with things that I've said in this video, it's all personal preference, I understand that. But for me, GTA 4 just happens to check more boxes than any other entry in the series. What I keep coming back to more than anything is just the storytelling. I've brought it up a bunch, but that slow and honest style is executed just so well in this game. In a franchise that's often loud, chaotic, and satirical, this kind of raw emotional storytelling is pretty rare, and Rockstar absolutely nailed it, and I wish they would return to this style of storytelling in GTA 7 when it comes out in 2077. That's dumb. Another thing that really stuck with me besides the amazing story is just the truth behind it. At its core, GTA 4 is about disillusionment, about the distance between the life you dreamed of and the life you end up living. And maybe that's why it stayed with me all this time, because it's not about building an empire, it's not about winning, it's about the emotional wreckage left behind when the quote-unquote American dream starts to rot. That bleak honesty inhabiting GTA 4 really makes Liberty City feel less like a sandbox map and more like an emotional scar. And for me, and for what it is, that honesty, that unshakable sadness, really makes it stand out as one of the most quietly powerful games I've ever played. And all it really took was one man and that quiet weight of trying to make peace with your past in a place that keeps dragging you back in. That's the beautiful sadness of GTA 4, and probably the reason why I will never forget it till the day I die. I'm Noah the Shine. I appreciate you for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed.